This conference will now be recorded.
And let me share the screen. Okay. So any questions from yesterday's session? Anything which you want to clarify? Okay, nothing. So let's start with today's session. So today is, okay, fine. So today is day 3, and yesterday we have discussed about the primitive data type. So all this portion has been covered yesterday. The primitive data type, we talked about number, strings, boolean, null, undefined, and symbol. All these things has been covered. And today we are going to see the reference data type. The difference between primitive data type and reference data type we have discussed yesterday. I am summarizing it once again. Primitive data type, they are static. Reference data type, they are dynamic, right? Primitive data type are static. That's why they can be stored in stack. But reference data type, they are dynamic. They are stored internally in heap, right? So in reference data type, first of all, we are going to learn about the objects. So what I'm going to tell you today is what objects in JavaScript are, how we can create the objects. So it's kind of an introductory session. We will deal with the objects in bit deep when we will talk about the object-oriented programming. So there will be a separate session for the object-oriented programming where we will see the various concepts of the object-oriented programming related with JavaScript. And in that session, we will clear the objects in a bit more in a deeper way. But today I am telling you very basic stuff related with the objects, which is always very good to remember. And that's the basic foundation for the JavaScript. So that's very important if you can get all these kind of concepts. So it will help you for learning the JavaScript very well. So let's start first with the objects. So today we are going to see objects, and then we will see arrays and functions and dates. So first start with objects. What are objects in JavaScript? Objects are nothing but it's a combination of key and value pairs, right? It's a combination of, as you can see the definition of the object. So what they are objects in JavaScript are name and value pair. So name can also be defined as key, right? So what exactly in objects are, there is a key and there is a value, right? This key be anything, this value can be anything, right? There is no restriction on that. So for example, this is a variable object, and then object is always starting with these brackets, like the middle brackets, right? These brackets. So one bracket is here, another bracket is here, and then first name, f name, this is a key, and then we are giving semicolons, and then we are subscribing it value. Then L name is a key, and then there's a value. Age is a key, 23 is a value. Phone is a key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a value. Street is a key, and test street is a value. So that's why we are saying in JavaScript, what are objects? Object is a combination of key and value pairs. We can always say name and value pairs. We can always say keys and value pairs. So both are the same things. Either you have to say name value pairs or you can say key values pair, right? So let's go to the editor and see how we can create the objects. So this is my editor. This is my index.html, as I already told you about this index.html. And for today, let's create a new JS file. So in this JS, I am clicking on create. This is the JS folder, and within this folder, I want to create a file. So I will say create my new file in this folder, and let me say this index2.js, right? So you can see that within this folder, you will find as index2.js, and this is the blank JS file, right? And here in index.html, what I have to do here is I have to say index2.js, right? Because I am writing a new JavaScript file and I want to execute whatever I am writing in this. So that's why I will change it here. I will save it. So this is saved and this is saved. So here is nothing, so no need to save. So what I am defining is I am defining a variable object, right? And then I am starting the object with these two brackets, and then you can assign any kind of key which you want and then the value, right? So for example, the one key can be fname, first name, right? And then semicolons, and then we have to define the value. So value is Ram. Then what can be another key? Another key can be last name, right? And then we have to define any value. So I will define it, for example, Tyagi. And then we have to define another key. So another key is age. For example, this is another key. And then I have to define the age in numbers. So if you are defining the age in a number, so we have to put it as a number, right? There is no need to put it in the semicolon or in two quotes because it's not a string, right? And then we have to define address or street. And street, I will say it is this, and then I will say fake street, right? And then I have to specify mobile number, or I will just say it as phone. And then here, let the phone will be string. So 1 2 3 4 5. This is my phone number. As it is a string, I can also give something like that. So if I want to put something like the country code or whatever, so I will do 049151256, something like that. So what is this? This is my object. Sorry, where my file is gone. So this is my object. So what is the name of my object? Name of my object is obj. This is my object. How I created it? I have created it with the help of keys and values pair. So keys are first name, last name, age, street, phone, and these are the corresponding values. And for defining the object, we are using these kind of brackets, right? So this middle brackets we have to use. And now I have created the object. Now, how to access the keys and values? So that we will see. So first of all, what we will do, we will write console.log, and then we will say object, right? So as soon as I am writing this sentence, what it is going to do, it will print the object in my console. So let's see it, how exactly it printed. So I am giving it save, and then we will see this open with live server. So this live server is now working. Now what we have to do, we are going here to the console, and in the console we are getting the object, right? So it is saying could not establish connection receiving and does not exist. That's fine, right? Now it's fine. So we have to refresh it, and now it is logging the whole object. So it is saying first name is Ram, last name is Tyagi, age is 25, street is fake street, phone is this. So it is logging the complete object here, right? And that's the thing which I want to log here, right? So this was my index tool there, and I am writing console.obj. Now, if you want to access any attribute or any key for this object, right? Then how you can do it? You have to just write a dot operator, as we are doing it or in all other languages like in Java or C++ or C#. So what I want to write here is obj dot first name. So first name is the key, and I want the value of this first name. So what I am going to write is console.log obj.fname, right? In the same way, what I can do, console.log, and then what I can do, obj.lname, last name, right? So it will log me the last name. In the same way, what we can do, console.log obj.age. So it will be going to give me the age. In the same way, console.log, and I will say obj dot, right? And let's see it, what kind of values are getting printed here. So I'm saving it, and after saving it, this is the live server, and now you can see that everything is getting printed, right? So first thing is undefined, second thing is Tyagi, second, then 25, and then the phone number. Why it is undefined? I think we have made some mistake in the code. So what we are doing is, here this n is small, and here this n is caps. So that is the mistake, right? So now I am saving it again, and let's go here, and refresh it, and then you are getting everything. So first name Rams, last name Tyagi, and then 25, and then this one. So this is the one of the way by which we are creating the objects in JavaScript, right? I am again repeating it. We have to give the name of the object, and then these brackets, the middle brackets, and then object is nothing but the combination of key and value. So this is the key, this is the value, this is the key, this is the value, this is the key, this is the value, and so on. This way of creating the object is known as object literals, right? So please remember this terminology, this lingo. This is known as object literals, literals. So this way of creating the objects is also known as object literals, right? So whenever we are using this way, we can easily see that we are using the object literals. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand it, objects and their creation, and how we can retrieve the value of the objects. We can retrieve the value just with the help of a dot operator. For example, for this object, if I want to retrieve age, so what I have to do, obj.age, something like that, and then the age will be retrieved. So this is the one way by which we can create the objects in JavaScript. We have another way by which we can create the objects in JavaScript, and that another way is with the help of new operator. So it is similar to Java, or it's similar to C#, that we are using new operator for defining the objects. So let's see another example in which we are creating the object with the help of new operator, right? So let's go to the editor once again, right? And let's go here. First I will remove it. And then I write it. So what I will write, variable object is equal to new object, something like that. And then obj, these kind of brackets. And then here I have to specify the name of the key. So name of the key is age, for example. And then I have to specify the age. So age is a number. So I will give 25. Then another key which I would like to provide here is first name. So what I will do, f name, right? And after providing the f name here, what I'm going to do, I am providing the name. So let's give this name Ram. And then obj, and then this kind of brackets. And here I have to provide the L name, last name. And let the last name be XYZ, whatever you want to mention. And then again, another key I want to provide, and this key is phone, right? And this key will be 1, 2, like it would be string. So I will write in 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then that is all. And if I want to now make it on a console, so I will say console.log, and then I want obj. And another thing is console.log. If I want to access the keys, so what I'm going to do here is obj.age. In the same way, I will copy it and I will paste it, and then I can say obj.fname and then obj.phone, right? And then I'm going to save it. Right now it is saved, and let's go here. So what we are getting here is the object. So this is the object. Age is 25, f name is Ram, L name is this, and phone is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all the things are listed here, right? So this is the second way by which we can create the objects in JavaScript. Now here some points to ponder, some points to think. What is the difference between this and this? Are you able to see any difference in these two statements? Any one of you? You can write in comments if you want. In these two sentences, yes, he is writing that in this we are providing the double quotes, and in this we are providing the single quotes, right? So both the ways are correct. Either you want to provide the key with a single quote, or you want to provide the key in double quotes. Both things are correct. So you can also do it something like this and something like this. Both of the things are correct. So it doesn't make any difference, right? So please don't be confused from all these kind of things, because both the things are correct. Right, so this is the second way by which we can create the object, but usually we are not using this second way much. So the way for creating the JavaScript objects is mostly we are using the first way. So this is the way, the first way which we have read, which we are using the most. Like this is the way usually we are using it, right? So I told you, because of your knowledge, or sometimes, you know, while understanding the code, we are able to see a code like this. So don't get confused by viewing this code, but whenever you have to make this code by your own, you have to do it like this. Okay. Now coming to the next topic, which is nested objects. So let's deep dive into the another topic, which is our nested objects. So what I'm going to do here is I will remove it, and I will create another object, and I will say it something like this. And here I will provide the keys. So first key is fname. Fname is, for example, Deepak. And then I will give lname. Lname is XYZ. Anything. And then we will give age. And age is 25. Sorry, we don't have to provide these semicolons. So this is always this kind of, not the semicolon, but a colon, right? This. And now sometimes, you know, we can make an object within the object, right? So this is the kind of a thing. You can create an object within the object, right? So for example, we have to provide, you can see here in this example, so we have to provide different kind of phones. One phone is for home, another phone is for mobile, and another phone is for work. So what we are going to do here is we are creating another object. The name of this object is phones within the first object, and then it is known as nested object, right? So this is the concept of nested object, when we are creating object inside the another object. So what we are going to do here is, this is my editor, right? I will write phones, right? And then I will give something like this, and then this, right? So this is the way we are doing here, phones, and then semicolon, sorry, not is equal to, right? And here you can provide whatever you want, like mobile is this, and then work is, you know, the number of your work, 1 2 3 4 5, and then home is 3 4 5 6, right? And when this is done, you can add another attribute as well. So you can see street, and then you can provide the name of the street. So you can say that Lake Street, and then you can provide the city, and then city is Delhi, and so on, right? So what we are going to do here is, first of all, we have created one object, and inside this object we have created the another object. So that's why these things is known as nested object in JavaScript, right? We are saying them nested object in JavaScript. Okay. And if I am trying to log this, so what I have to do here is I will say console dot log, and then I will log this object, right? And for example, if I want to retrieve the value of mobile, so what I have to do is I will say console dot log and then object dot, then another object which is phone. So I will say phone and then the value of key mobile, right? So this is going to fetch me the mobile, this number, right? In the same way, if I want to fetch work, what I have to do? Console dot log and then obj dot phone dot work, right? Then it is going to retrieve me this work, and now I am saving it, right? And let's see it here. So this is the object, you can see it here. This is the first name, this is the last name, this is the age, this is the phone. So a phone is also considered as an object, and then this is the street, and then these are the two things which are mentioned here, right? So this is something known as the concept of nested object. So there is a one object which is obj. Inside the one object there is another object which is known as phone, and this phone is having different kind of keys, and this object is having different kind of keys. So what you have to do here is just understand the syntax, like what this syntax looks like, how this syntax is, right? Because sometimes you are confused, about these colons, about these commas, right? So all these things, all very minute things, you have to make sure that you are following the same pattern, right? In this way we can create the nested objects. So any question till here? Any confusion? Is it clear to all of you? Okay, now let's move to the another concept, and this concept is object with the same keys. So this is the last thing which we are reading regarding the objects. After reading this topic, we are going to finish the objects. So let's go to the editor, and what I am going to do here is I will remove this and I will create a new object. And then, for example, this is object obj, and I am using object literals for making it. So object literals is very simple. I am giving the name of the object, putting these two brackets, and then providing the key value pairs. So first key is fname, and then this is a colon, and then I will provide the first name, and let the first name be Shirisha. Okay, and then I will provide the L name, and L name can be XYZ, right? And then I will provide the city, and this city is, for example, California, right? So here it is giving me error because I have used a wrong syntax. Now it is clear. And then its age, I will say 22, and then its phone, I will say it 1 2 3, let it be string, so 1 2 3 4 5, and here I will again put city, and in this city I will write Jaipur or Delhi, for example, and then I will provide age, and here I will provide 27, and here I will provide, and that's it. For example, that's it, right? That's it. So this is my object, right? This is my object, and now what I will try to do is I will see console.log. I will try to log this object obj, and then what I will do is I will say console.log and then obj.city, right? So city is from capital, so this is small and capital, so we have to make the similar, like it is city with small c ity, and this is also city, right? And then I will say console.log obj.age. So what is the output of these two things? Specifically, these two things. Any one of you. Whether it will be, the city will be California or whether it will be Delhi. In the same way, the age will be 22 or 27, or it will give some error. So Praveen is saying first one by default for age 22. Okay, so you are saying it will be 22. Okay. Any other? Pashupati is saying the first set will be displayed. You have put a question mark, so you are asking me. Okay. Shrisha is saying overrides age 27. So Shrisha is saying it will be 27. Akash is saying it will be 27 and Delhi. Okay. And what about other? Ram, Samir? Any suggestion from you? Samir is saying 27 and Delhi. Yeah. So let's see it. Let's run it and see from by our own that what will be the output. So I am saving it, right? And now let's go here and see here. So it is saying Delhi and 27, right? So the reason for this is it is being stored in a key value pairs. So first time, think about this thing. So first time it is, the key is fname. So what it will going to do, it will write Shrisha here. That's fine, right? It will create a key and assign a value to it. Second time it will create L name. So it will create a key and it will create a value. That's also fine. Third time it will come here city. So it will create a key and it will assign a value, California. Right? That's also fine. Then fourth time it will encounter a new thing. So this key is, it will create new and assign it 22. Then phone is also a new key. So it will take it as phone, a new key. And then it will assign it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As soon as it is coming here, it will see city Delhi. So city is already mentioned as a key, right? Because city is already mentioned as California. So what it is going here is, it will override California with Delhi. Okay, so it will override this California and put Delhi here, right? In the same way, age is already mentioned here, right? Age is already mentioned here. So what it is going to do is, it will override 22 by 27. So it will cross it and put it 27, right? So please keep this thing in mind, because the objects in JavaScript, they are a value of key and a value of pairs. They are the key values pairs, and they are stored in heap because these are the reference data type. So as they are key value pair, as they are stored in heap, so in a heap, I think if you are a bit acquainted with Java, you already know how heap works, how we are going to store the value in heaps, right? So key values pair are always like this. If the key is not available, first of all, that key is created. But if key is already created and we are assigning it a different value, then the previous value is always replaced by the second value. Okay, so please keep this thing in mind, that if we are mentioning the same key again, the value will be overridden, right? So which value will take place? The value which is later will override the value which was previous. Okay, so that is the concept of value overriding of objects in JavaScript, right? So I have already mentioned here value with same keys. So what is going to be the output here? Object.street. So first time the street, when the street will be the key, it will be test street. And second time we don't have any street, so object5.street will be test street. Object5.phone. Phone first time is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another time is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what is going to happen? This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is going to override 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So phone number will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what will be the output of this? Object5.fname. Fname is the first name. So first name is, first time it is test, another time it's govern. So how it will be replaced? Given will replace the test, right? So we will get object.fname will be given. Okay. So this is the concept of object with the same keys. So till now we have covered three important things. The first thing we have covered is how to create the objects with literals. So object with literal, object literals. And then we see how to create the objects in second way, objects with new keyword. Point number 2. Then we see the nested objects, and then we see the object with the same keys. So I think these are the very simple concept, and we are going to summarize, or we are going to repeat these concepts when we are going to see the object-oriented programming. So just keep these things in mind. And once we are covering the object-oriented programming, we are again going to see these concepts once again. Now, another reference data types which we are having is functions. So functions in JavaScript are, it's almost the same thing in every language. They are a reusable piece of code. So for example, I want to define a function, say hi. So what I have to do, I will write function. Function is the keyword. So this is the keyword which I have to use, right? And then this is the name of my function, and then these two brackets. And under the body, I am specifying the body of the function. So I will say console log hi, how are you? And if I am calling this function, it will print me this code. So in a nutshell, this is the definition of the functions in JavaScript. So as simple as it can be. So let's go to the editor. I will show you something in the editor now. All right, so I'm going to delete this, or let it be here, or let us delete it. And then what I'm going to write here is a function. The name of the function is say hi or say good night, whatever you want. And then this, and this is the definition of the function. So what I will write, console dot log, and here I will say good morning sir, or whatever, right? And then what I have to do is I will call this function, say good night. So I will say good night, right? And then I will save it, right? And then let's go here. So it is saying good morning sir, right? So this is the function in a nutshell. But again, when we move forward, we will understand it in a bit more elaborative way when we are going to see the functions in details. So for everything, there will be a separate chapter, or a separate lecture where we will explore it. But as of now, regarding the reference data types, you just remember function is a piece of a reusable code. Now coming to the arrays, arrays is nothing but a collection of data. So it's arrays is always, you have read about arrays in C, C++, C#, everywhere. So they are omnipresent, they are everywhere. It's just a collection of data, right? So we can define array like in the same way, variable, and then my array, and then these brackets, and then something like this. And the concept of array will be the same, like they are introduced by index. So the first value will be on 0 index, the second value will be on first index, third value will be on 2 index, fourth value will be on 3 index, and so on, right? And this array can comprise of even the different kind of collection. So it need not be like everything in the array should be string, or everything in the array should be number. So this can be a different kind of data type, right? So this can be 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 is number, then test is string, and then true is boolean. So this is the concept of arrays. And we will go to the editor and see it. And there is a different alternate way to declare the array, and this is with the new keyword. So it is the same, we have seen it. So we have to declare the array first with the help of new keyword, and then we can assign the different kind of values with the help of index. So let's see how to create the index in the editor. So I will say where array AR, or I will say my array, right? And then I am saying something like this. And here I am defining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 is boolean, and then a string. This is my array, right? If you want to get this array in the console, so what you are writing? Praveen is asking a question, and this question is about we don't need to specify the length of the array here like in Java we do. We can specify the length of the arrays. I will show you. I will show you in few seconds that how we can specify the length. So let's first put this array into the console. So what I will do, console.log, and then I will say my array. Right. So what it's going to do is it is typing the array in the console. So now you can see this is your array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, true and test. And by default, it is giving the length also. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is the length of the array, right? So this is the way you can declare the array. And now if you want to access some element of array with the help of index, so what you are going to do, console.log, and then my array, and then these brackets, right? And then you can specify 0. So 0 will give the element who is on the 0th index, right? So it will give us 1. I think you already know all those things, so I will be a bit fast here because I think everybody knows something about arrays. My array, and then I will provide the index 1 and so on. So if I am providing the index, so 0 this will print 1 and 1 this will print 2 because first element is on 0th index, second element in the first index, and so on, right? So I am saving it, and now I am going to console, and you can see 1 and 2 are available. Okay, there are some functions related with these arrays also, very common functions. So let us consider some of the functions. One function is to find the length of the array, right? So if we want to find the length of array, what we have to do is we will see console.log and then my array dot, and then we have a function known as length, right? So it will give us the length of the array. I am saving it, and now you can see the length of array is displayed as 9. So this is simple. I think this is very common in all the languages, array dot length. Okay. Another function is to add some element in the array, right? So what we have to do is I will write my array dot push, right? And then I can provide the element which I needs to be pushed. So I will say let it be 100 or something like that, 100, right? And now I will write console dot log and then my array, right? So push means you want to add some elements in this array, right? So for example, how this push is working, this is my existing array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then true, and then test. This is my existing array, and if I am saying push 100, so it will push it at the end. So now how my new array will be something like this. So when I'm saying console.log my array, then it will display all those things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, test 100. That will be the new array because we have pushed. Pushed means to add something in the array. So this is a new function. Like in other languages, we are not using push. So just keep this thing in your mind that push is to add something. So I am saving it, and let's go to the console. So now you can see that if I am saving it a push, then it is displaying as like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, true, test 100. Another function related with this array is pop. Pop is to reduce, right? So if I am saying I want to push 100, so it is adding 100 at the end. And if I want to do something like this, my array dot pop, right? So what it is going to do is it will remove the last element from the array, right? So if I am doing the console.log again, what it's going to do, what I will see this array. Why I am going to see this array? Because first of all, it is pushing 100, So what will be the resultant array? The resultant array will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then true, and then test, and then 100. This will be the resultant array. And when I am saying the pop automatically means it will remove the last element. So it will remove the last index. This will be removed, and then we will give this resultant. Okay, so let's see it. So here you are getting the resultant array, and the length of array is 9. Okay, so in this way you can push any element and pop any element. Push is to add, and pop is automatically it is going to subtract the last element. It is going to remove the last element or the last index which is available in there. Another very small thing is array myarray dot sort. So this is a function which will sort your array. For example, if you are having this array something like this, and I am removing all those things, and you are saying my array dot sort, and after that what you are doing, console dot log, and then you are logging this my array. So it will sort it automatically. It is sorted. So what I am doing is I am trying to make it bit unsorted. So for example, this is your array, and then you are saying sort it, then it will be sorted array. Console.log will display the sorted array, and sorted array will be 4. So first of all, it's 2, then 4, 4, 5, 100, 600, something like that. So let's save it and go here, and then you are going to see, I think it's not refreshed. It's saying 100, 2, 4, 4, 5, 607. I think it is not sorting it. No, it's not sorting it. So something like this. It's also not sorted. I think it should work. So this is my array dot sort and console.log my array. And let it be, put it in another variable, array 2, and then we will write array 2, something like this. Save it. It's saying there is an error. Okay, error 2. Why it's not sorting it? Strange. It's saying 2, 4, 4, 5, 607. So it is not sorting these things. Maybe we have done some mistake here. And 9. And now if we are doing it, now it's sorted. 1, 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Now it's sorted. But why it's not sorting when we are putting the digits, something like this? For example, 10. Strange. Yeah, so it's not sorting it. because it's considering it as an string or what? This might be because of the considering it string. Yes, this is strange. So let's do it in this way. We are using the single digits, and now we would like to sort it. We are clicking on save, and then we are going to see it. So this thing is sorted 0 1 2 4 4 7 8 9. So this we are getting the sorted array. That is the function of sorting. Why it's not sorting in digits, I will have a look on it and then let you know about that. Another common function is to reverse. So reverse is something where we can reverse it. So if I will say console.log, and then if I will say my array, so let's remove this. From here, we don't need it right now. So what we are going to do is console.log myArray.reverse. So it is going to reverse the existing array. Let's save it and have a look here. So you can see that 976541240, it has reversed the array which we have used. So this was my editor 976541240, right? You can get the complete reverse pattern. So this is something about the reversing the array. Okay. So that these are the common functions about the arrays, and this is the alternative way to declare the array. So alternative way is with using the new keyword. And with the help of this new keyword, how we can define it, it's simple. So first of all, we have to write where my, the name of the array, we define it as a variable, and we will use the new keyword and then this array, something like this, and then we can directly provide the indexes. So let's see once a very quick example of this before wrapping the today's session. So what we are going to do is, I will say where my array is equal to new and then array, right? So this is the thing. And then what I will do, my array 1. So this is the 0th index. So I will start from 0, and then I will define a value. And then my array, and then this is the index which I would like to use, and then I define it test2, something like this. And then what I have to do is I will console.log and then provide this my array, right? Save it, file, save, go here. So this is providing the test and test2. So this is providing this array, right? So this is the alternative way of defining the array. Okay. So that is more or less for today, and tomorrow we are going to see some other common functions of the array, which is slice and concat and difference between slice and splice. And then we will also see the dates. And once we are able to see the dates, we are all good to complete the reference data types, because we already talked about the functions, we already talked about the objects, we already talked about the arrays, and then the final thing which is left is dates. So tomorrow we are going to see a bit about the arrays, a bit more about the arrays, and then we are going to see a bit more about the dates. And after that, the reference data type will be completed. So before completing this session, let's go with some interview questions. So these are the interview questions which we have covered from the today's topic. The first thing is, can we have the same keys in the JavaScript object? The answer is very simple. Yes, we can have the same keys in the JavaScript objects. And the same keys, what's going to happen here if we are having the same keys? The later key will replace the former key. The later key will replace the value with the replace the value of the former value. So it will basically override the loop. Second is, what's the method to insert a new element in JavaScript array? I already talked to you, it's a push, right? What's the difference between slice and spice? That we are going to talk on this on tomorrow. So this is something which we will discuss tomorrow. Define objects in JavaScript. Object is nothing but key and value pairs. What do you mean by nested objects in JavaScript? Nested objects are objects within the objects. We already discussed it. What are the object literals? Object literals is a kind of a design pattern by which we are creating the objects with the help of without the help of new keyword, right? So if we are using the new keyword, then we are saying the objects are created with the help of new keywords. And if we are talking about the object literals, then object literals are without the new keyword, right? What is the usage of new keyword in JavaScript? New keyword is basically used, the new keyword is used to create the new objects, right? So whether it's a new array is also a kind of an object, right? So whether it's a new array or it's a new object, we are using the new keyword for defining the new things. That's more or less about today's session. Any questions? So there are few questions. I will take this. Deepak is asking how to add my own index rather than last sub. Deepak, I am not getting your question. What would you like to say here?
Yes, sir. Rather than keeping that push means it will be just adding it in the last index, no, sir.
Yes.
Rather than that in the middle somewhere at my own index number.
Okay. So what you can do here is it's simple. You can, for example, if you are having an array. So let me do it. So this is your array and you are defining something like that. And now you don't want to push, because if you want to push, you have to simple write my array dot push. And if you don't want to push, so what you have to do, you have to just write my array and then second, because this is the second index, and then you can write test3, something like that. And in the same way, like objects, if you already have this kind of array and you want to replace something on first array, so what you are going to do, my object, my array, and then on one you can define it abc. So what this abd is going to do, abd is going to replace the test2. Okay, so this is the way, like this is the way, the name of the array, and within the brackets you can specify the value.
No, sir. In Java, we'll be having replace such kind of functions. Do we have any such kind of functions in?
We have a lot of those kind. Yes, we have a lot of those kind of functions, and we are going to cover when we will go through the arrays in detail. So right now it's just an introduction. When we are going to cover these things in a detail, then we are going to use these kind of functions as well.
Okay, sir. I thought this is the end of arrays.
No, this is not end of arrays. Basically, we will see a bit more about them, and we will talk more about the functions. So right now, I just want to give you introduction of the reference data type. That's why I have written here. But yes, obviously, we are going to learn a bit more about the arrays in the next some sessions.
And the other thing, sir, when I write console.log is NaN and I write a number inside that in double quotes, it's returning me false.
Because it's a string.
Yes, sir. NaN means not a number, right? It should return me.
Not a number. Is not a number.
Sir, when I write my name inside that, it's returning me true.
Yes. So the reason for this is, see, we have these kind of things. So for example, if you are having where a is equal to 23, right? Something like this, and you will see console.log is not a number, and then what you are giving here is a, right? And you are saving it. So what is the output? It is saying false. Because this is a kind of a variable and it's saying is not a number, right? So is not a number is it's a number, right? That's why it is giving a false. That's perfectly fine, right? And here if you will say where a is equal to test, right, and save it, right, and if you are going here, so it will giving you true. So it is saying that it is not a number. And if you are specifying here 23, for example, in quotes, and if you are saving here, so it is giving you false. So it is saying is not a number is false, like it's a number, right? The false, why it is giving you, because sometimes the JavaScript editor, if you are specifying this the numbers in quotes, considered by default it is changing it into a number. So that is a kind of a logic that sometimes if a number is specified in these double quotes, the interpreter consider it as a number, because usually if we are specifying the numbers, we are not giving the quotes. That is the reason behind it. It interprets as a number, and that's why it's giving it as false. So that happens sometimes with the editor. If you are specifying just a number in a in this quotes, then it's assuming it that it is a kind of a number. So you will have these kind of situations at many times when you are working with a JavaScript. So that's why if you are using just a number, so instead using it a number, you have to just specify it like this. So if you are saving it and then you are going it, so it is also false. So it doesn't make any sense that for a number, either you are putting it in the quotes or you are writing it in a simple way. So it doesn't make any sense. But instead, if you are putting something in a string and write like apple, so now there will be a difference. So it will consider as a string, and then it is saying it as true, is not a number, is true. So if you are saving it and now you are saying it, it is true. So this is a kind of a the JavaScript behavior, that sometimes you are specifying a number in a inverted quotes, it is taking it as a not as a string but as a number. Automatically it will detect this like this. Did you get it, or do you still have any confusion?
Got it, sir. Got it, sir. And the other part, sir, it's not related to this with respect to this course. So for reporting, what exactly do we use, sir? Extend report or any algorithm?
No. So what
Because
we are
these clients will concentrate more on reports rather.
yeah, sure. So the thing is that we are using Cucumber, right? And this we will integrate the whole solution with Cucumber. And when we are using this Cucumber, we are getting some reports from the Cucumber framework itself. So you don't have to bother about the reports, whether you are going to integrate as a Jenkins or whether you are going to integrate it with TeamCity, whatever CI/CD tool you are using, the Cucumber will provide the automatically reports.
Got it, sir.
Are you?
Thank you.
So there is no need to integrate it with some some external LU reports or extend whatever these extended reports,
Yes, sir.
or whatever.
Fancy reports.
Yeah, fancy reports. We will get the Cucumber reports, and these Cucumber reports will, like, they will suffice the purpose. Like, they are very elaborative. You will get whatever you want, because these are one of the kind of the best reports we are having right now. So if you talk about the Jenkins, the Cucumber have the plugins, the best plugins by which you can generate the reports. And in the same way, if you don't want to integrate with Jenkins, you want to run something locally, you want to get the reports, so Cucumber will give you HTML report. Cucumber will give you the JSON body. Within the JSON body, you can put this JSON somewhere to make your customized reports. But even if you want the HTML reports, it will give you a very nice HTML report. So there is no need. I will tell you how to integrate with Cucumber, and then we can get the reports. Other than that, we will be using some the unit framework for the JavaScript, whether it will be Mocha or whether it will be Chai. So there are some reports which are provided by these frameworks as well. But I'm saying here we will more emphasis on the Cucumber reports. Got it?
Sir, what is the date that we end the course, sir? Generally, I should not ask this because I don't think September will be starting offices. I'm not sure of that, but I just wanted to know, sir. Approximate.
Approximate date is, I am assuming, like mid of September we are going to complete this, because I really because I took feedback from some of you guys that how everything is going on, and some people are saying that they are new to the JavaScript, so the pace is a bit fast, right? So really I want to consider this fact that some of the people are completely new to the JavaScript, so I really don't want to go very fast. That's why, you have observed the first 3 or 4 sessions, whatever we have done. I am not going beyond 40 minutes or 45 minutes, right? But once you are acquainted with the JavaScript, the pace will be fast. So right now I am deliberately a bit slow so that everybody can be on the same page. So that's why I'm assuming somewhere in mid of September, the course will be finished for sure. Mid of September is very, I think that it is achievable, mid of September.
Yes, sir.
Another
Thanks, sir.
depends whether we want to continue on the Fridays or whether we don't want to continue on the Fridays. So the thing is that while starting the course, I told you we are going to going to continue from Monday to Thursday. But Friday, if you people want, then we can continue on a Friday. This Friday we are going to continue for sure, because the first Monday I was on, I have some very important task and I have to cancel the class. So this Friday, I mean tomorrow, I will cover up the syllabus which I would like to cover up in for the last Monday. But the next weeks you can decide it by your own. If you want a break on Friday, then I am okay with that, and if you want to continue on Friday, then I'm okay with that. Both of the situations. But let's see what other people are suggesting. Most probably we will continue on Friday. So Shisha is saying Monday to Friday is good for me. I think Deepak, it also suits for you. So yeah, if Monday to Friday, then no issues. We will continue with Monday to Friday. So if we are going from Monday to Friday, I think September is quite September mid. I will complete this. Any other thing?
No, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. Then thanks for attending the session, and we are going to meet on tomorrow the same time, and then we are going to see some arrays related things, the method slice and splice, and then concatenation of arrays, and then we will also see something related with dates and other things. So tomorrow we are going to complete the reference data type, and the next class, maybe if the time will permit, we will also see a bit about the constant and the variables in JavaScript. So that's the thing. Thanks for attending the session and have a nice day. Bye.